Let's go JavaScripting! Hi everybody and welcome to another exciting edition of Boring JavaScript. I'm your host, the Virtuoid, aka Mike Smith, and today we're going to be talking about beacons. What's a beacon, you ask? Well, beacon is a web API that was built for a very unique and specific purpose, and that purpose is generally used in analytics. So what are analytics? Analytics are small pieces of information that is sent from the website to a server somewhere that contains information about how you are working with the website. It's used by marketers to be able to determine what works with their website and what doesn't. It's used by web designers to be able to determine what pages need to be refactored to be able to give you a better experience. So what does that have to do with Beacon? Well, before Beacon, people would normally use HTTP request, GET, or POST request to be able to send the information to the server. Now the problem is that HTTP requests are not always guaranteed to be sent. For example, if you were to navigate from one page to another and you decide to send some analytics when somebody tried to do that navigation, the browser may go ahead and navigate, and therefore that particular HTTP request will never get sent or never be acknowledged to be sent. And that created a problem because if you don't have the correct analytics, you can't make the correct decisions. So Beacon was created to solve that particular type of problem. Beacon is guaranteed always to be sent to the server. No exceptions whatsoever. Want to see how it works? Let's get started. Fortunately, using Beacon is extremely easy to use. I've got a website here that when you click on Click Me, it will go to a second page. Ta-da! Really complicated. And what will happen is I have a server on the back side that when the server receives that request from the beacon, it will process it and then it will create a file called analytics.json. And as you can tell right now, analytics.json does not exist at this particular point in time. So let's take a quick look at our code. Here's our code. It's very simple to use, simple to understand here. I've got an event listener for load on the window, and this will tell me when the web page has finished completely loading up. And when it has completely loaded up, I am now checking for a event called visibility change. And this is an event that whenever the web page itself or the tab in reality changes its visibility from visible to hidden, then I will know that will happen. And for example, if I had multiple tabs and I was on that tab and I clicked to another tab, that's when the visibility change will occur. And if I click back on the tab, it will occur again. Or if I went to another window, the visibility of this particular page would change. So I'm checking for it's hidden. I'll send the beacon. So let's take a look at that send beacon. This is the command right here, and that's it. It takes two arguments. The first argument is the URL to which it's being sent. In this case, I'm doing analytics.json, and it could actually be any URL that is accepted by the server. I just did analytics.json. It could have been absolutely anything as long as the server recognizes the URL and processes it correctly. And mine is hard-coded right now, so it's going to do it no matter what. The second argument is the important one, and it's called data, and this is how the data is going to be sent to it. And it can be in a number of different formats, array buffer, for example, regular buffer, or even form data. And I selected form data. And the reason I selected form data is that the beacon, the send beacon, when it sends out an HTTP request, but it sends it as a post request. And if it sends it as a post request, I figured, the easiest way to send my data is to send it as form data. That way, it's a normal form, post form request. Just like if you had an HTML file that said each form method equals post, it would be the exact same way here. And so that way, pretty much any server on the back end should be able to understand it. So all I have to do is that when I do the send beacon down here, I'm going to get some information. In this case, I'm just getting the app code name, the cookie enabled, and the language. I mean, it could be absolutely anything. I'm loading it all up into form data. So I've created my own form data object here, and then I'm just appending an app code name, a cookie enabled, and a language key for all three of my pieces of information. And then I'm doing the send beacon, and that will send the post request out to the server. And the key here is although technically I am now traversing away from my web page, this send beacon will basically say, you're going to stop there. I'm going to send this beacon out, and I'm going to wait for it to get a response back from the server before I continue on. I will guarantee the delivery of this HTTP request. And this is just going to save a lot of time for people doing analytics and things like that. And that's it. There really is nothing else. So let's go back to our web page and let's click on Click Me, and wow, I went to a second page. Woohoo! Well, did it actually do something? Let's find out what it did. Let's go back over to our command prompt. Let's do a directory here. And yep, there's our analytics.json. Let's type it out and see what it looks like. Am I going to spell it right? Yeah. .json. And there they are. Wonderful. There's our app code name, our cookie enabled, and our language. So what my server did is it took the form data and it just created a little JSON file here that can now be used for anywhere. And literally that's it. There really is nothing more to send Beacon. The only thing I would suggest is that it can send a bunch of different types of formats. Like I said, a regular buffer, an array buffer. I would suggest probably sticking to form data, since that's what most servers will be able to understand. And that's it. So if you're ever in a situation where you've got to absolutely guarantee that your HTTP request is going to be sent off to that server, use this, and it has to be a post in this case, use the sendBeacon and you will never go wrong. And that's all there is to using the beacon. I hope you enjoyed our video. Hope I didn't bore you to death. Please make sure to click the like button below the video, or better yet, click on the subscribe button to get notifications anytime we create new videos. Also, you can view every single video we have at www.boringjavascript.com, or check out everything at www.thevirtualvoid.com. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you later.